Hello again and welcome back to Wingot Plays Nomifactory. Between episodes I've gone and made the rest of the ingots here. I have set up some individualized fluid solidifiers here, and I've got some various plates being made here. I've also got a number of fluid portable tanks that are just fluid, making phosphoric acid, chlorine, sterilized growth medium, lava, krypton gas, molten ender, etc. Things that we need to have in fluid form. I've also gone through and each of the empowered crystals, the empowered Restonia crystals, Palus crystals, Enori, Emeradic, etc. I've made all of those available here, and over here we've got the molten nether star being solidified into blocks of nether stars, so that we've got infinite nether stars. And for pretty much all of them, I've also put in a drawer upgrade, so we've got reasonable quantities. We've only got 32,000 blocks, but that's almost 300,000 ingots for pretty much everything. However, so yes, we've got pretty much everything that we can make out of fluids automated here. And of course, fluids themselves available here. So we've got those two setups ready. But anything we can't make out of fluids, we need to do one of two things. Either we need to do further processing steps, or we need to get them from DML. And so I've been setting up this area here for us to get DML up and running. But the question is, how do I do this so that we can have some drawers that actually look quite nice rather than having cabling going everywhere? So I think the first step is we probably want to put the multi-smelter. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that should then have space behind it. If we put the heatproof casing here. Now we are going to want energy conduits. Sorry, not energy conduits, input hatches. Energy input hatches here. And we're going to run everything as ZPM because all the machines are going to be at ZPM. Now, I've got fusion coil blocks here in order to run that. And then we are going to need on top, where'd they go? Yeah, cool. So the heat-proof machine casings. And then the question is, where do the input and output buses go? Probably the output bus goes right here on the top middle. Oh, I do need to put my magnet back on. I had to take it off recently. Okay, we don't need those. Output. That's input bus. And where's the output bus? For some reason, I can't see the output bus. Huh. Okay. Okay, output bus can go there. And for that, we can put a normal framed drawer on top. Give me my drawer key. Perfect. Cool. So that will then have the output. But then how do we... Because effectively what I'm thinking is we need this drawer for the pulsating dust, and then for polymer clay, we need pulsating dust and we need clay. And the pulsating dust is made out of resonant clathrate, which is made out of nether quartz and molten ender. So it might be possible, actually, now that I think of it. So molten ender is just a fluid. We need a chemical reactor. So what I could do is I could have the chemical reactor putting directly into here. So for example, if I grab one of the chemical reactors and put it there, then we can put the input bus here. There. Perfect. And then we just need some power cable along the back. And then that is just going to need some nether quartz and molten ender. Molten ender is easy. We can just get that straight out of a creative tank. And then nether quartz is the other step. So we've got a creative tank for molten ender here, which if we put that there and tell it to output, then that's full of molten ender immediately. Okay, now I think what we are going to need to get our quartz going, so we need a electrolyzer, which I'm wondering if there's a way to put this so that the electrolyzer can easily get power without... Actually, there is an easy way to put the power without being messy. So we'll make both of those hatches and okay, and then we just need a CEF, which could just be here. And then that's going to need energy conduit. There, cool. And we do need a facade 100% here because that oxygen setup is only temporary. And then if we cover this back up, good Vina. Perfect. Now we can get rid of that one for the time being anyway. So that's all of that has power. This electrolyzer just needs glass. And so what we need is we need an ME interface. There. Unfortunately, there's no way to get rid of the... We are going to need some ME. Unless... So we're going to need a processing array for the fluid solidifiers to make the glass. So we're actually going to need some more of these. And so the processing array, let's actually make a few spares in the background. The processing array could potentially have its output bus sitting here. I am fairly certain that we're going to have a need for some like fluix cabling and such later, but this might actually get this working. So we've got that. We need some robust tungsten steel to make the base. This is the machine access interface. We need a couple of enderium for the NG input hatches. In fact, move that out of the way. We don't have any NG input hatches left, I think. So we need a couple of these. Good. And then processing array, there's one. And we need a machine access interface. Which can go there, that can go there, and then for now, we just need a whole lot of these, but we are going to need input buses as well. In fact, in this case, we don't need an input bus, we need an input hatch, because we need a fluid input hatch. MV, that'll do. Throw that on top, and then we can probably, I wonder whether the system will let us have 2 output buses. It will. Although what we're doing is we're making glass. We've got automated glass production over there. So I think instead of trying to be cheeky, we're just going to do this. And then we want fluid solidifiers. Okay, waiting on that, fine. Put that away. We don't need that output bus anymore. And then we need the fluid input hatch to take liquid glass. Good. We do need a normal input bus because it needs to have the mold. So let's put that here. Good. And then if we throw the fluid solidifiers into there, and it is running, there you go, it's making glass. And the nether quartz there is not being output yet. Okay. So then our wrench, I think this is the very last use that we're going to get out of it, can output that. Perfect. And we're getting resonant clathrate, and then the resonant clathrate is coming up here to pulsating dust. Perfect. So we're making pulsating dust, and then the pulsating dust needs to go into an alloy smelter. And in fact, that'll be the last step there. So I think before this goes too crazy, let's change that output bus. Okay. I think I'm going to output bus here. Good, now that's running again. Now we can't just put this directly in because that'll then flood the chemical reactor when there's not enough clay being, the alloy smelter when there's not enough clay. So I think we do actually need a draw here. But then the next question is, where are things going to go? if so the alloy smelter is going to need to be able to take the pulsating dust and another input from one of its sides and have somewhere to output to. So I think it's going to go here, because this way we could put a drawer there. Let me just get rid of these compacting drawers. And it could take in with a robot arm the pulsating dust, and then the clay could come in from this side here, because the clay is just coming from a pulverizer, and then this way would allow us to put power underneath it while still having room over here for the output from the alloy smelter. In which case, let's do that. Let's get rid of that Vena. I need another. That's annoying. Good. Our bus can move to here. And then that gets to go there. Perfect. Lock that. Lock that while we're at it. Okay. Now I do think I need to put that CEF back here then to get this running, because that endurium gets to go there. And then we just need, I think it's 2 more pulverizers. Where's my cobblestone generator? There. Okay. So that's making gravel. What? I'm guessing I'm going to need to restart. Item air cannot be cast to tool item. Oh. I think it thinks I've still got a wrench in my hand. Yeah, okay. Cool. Output. So that's outputting to there. Cool, we're getting sand. Now this needs to go there. Perfect. And output. So we're getting dust. We've got that there. So what we need is a robot arm. Well, we need 2 robot arms. One there and one there. Perfect. And we need a screwdriver. I think we need filters on this. Import, supply, keep, 64. 63. Good. Now on this side, import, keep, 63. Yeah, okay. So then we need item filters to get it to actually recognize the things that it needs to keep. So this is going to be, oh, that's the wrong filters. This is going to be dust block. Perfect. What's going on there? Oh. Give me a full stack of that. There we go. Good. And then this one also needs a filter, which is going to be a full stack of that. Perfect. Good. What am I doing wrong? Clay. Oh. Okay, give me some Enderium here. So we need to move back the pulverizers. Let's digital this cobble. Okay, we want that. We want to keep the dents, fine. And then get rid of the rest of this cobble. Perfect, cool. So that, put the dents back there, and then each of these need to move as well. Well, they don't necessarily need to move, but they did need to be emptied, so this is probably the easiest way to do it. Although probably that last one was going to be easier to leave the, I think the motor's still on here. Where's the motor gone? I feel like the motor and the item filter should have popped off as part of that. And so all four of those are stacking. Interesting. So motor, oh, hang on. No, because it's on this machine. Fine. Never mind. Perfect. So then we need a wrench. U gets to output to there, which gets to output to there, which gets to output to there. Good. And then this needs to not be a pulverizer, it needs to be a chemical reactor, which filled up as quick as I could click on it. Cool. And then that needs to, there we go. So we've got clay, and we can grab a full stack of clay, and we can change this. So you need a full stack of clay. Oh my god. Ah, there we go, good. Perfect, full stack of clay. And then we get Pulsating Polymer Clay, which can go right there. And then this needs to output to that side. Perfect, and so we've now got a Pulsating Polymer Clay production there. And then last thing we need is we just need to give it a storage bus on the bottom, so that the system can see it. Perfect, and then ME conduits along the bottom. Facade, Vena facade. No, which one's Vena? Perfect. Yeah, you can go there. Perfect, and then just some facades along the bottom. Good, so we now have pulsating or not pulsating, pulsating polymer clay being produced. Clay. Wonder if it's faster. $192 per second. Like, now, so long as this system never runs out, does this do 64 at a time? I think that's why it runs down so much. But what I could do is, oh wow, completely full, is I could have that automatically output in the clay, and then the drawer on top gets to try to keep the input. Now, as part of all of that, so we've completely filled up this. In fact, we probably want to give it a bit of this. There we go, cool. So this is, but that has proved that this is producing faster than the polymer clay requirement that we have, at least accentuated with the other polymer clay systems that we've got in place. But with Creative Tank, like this is just using creative fluids and that dense cobblestone generator. Although to be fair, the other systems were just using a dense cobblestone generator. But as far as I can tell, there's no way to make any of these items, like the dust block, but the clay, any other way than through pulverizing and reacting with water. I can't see a way to make them more directly out of creative fluid. But that's that set up. The slow point of our polymer clay production previously has always been the glass production, and we've now got glass production faster than the electrolyzer there can use it. And this will allow us to then do a rebuild of the DML on this side with just the creative tech, and it helps us to keep the creative side separated from the previous build. Very nice. So let's clean up a little bit. Okay, put that away, put that away. Perfect. And I think these are spare. Okay, good. Now let's take a look at our quest book. So as I said, we made the various empowered gears. And so at this point, we can do two things. We can make the simulation supercomputer, which probably actually isn't all that difficult, although the question is, I don't think we've ever made Naquita alloy screws. Naquita alloy plates. I think the only thing that's used in is the simulation supercomputer. But we do need 71. So I'll look to get that recipe set up. The Eternal Catalyst, let's have a look here. Oh, we've already got it up there. That, I think, pretty much everything here we've actually got, except for the ultimate material. And we don't currently have motes of omnium, because we do have omnium blocks, but we don't have motes of omnium. So I can easily fix that. Give me a ball mold, which can then go into here. Okay. Good, and then I want a normal frame to draw. Here, that. Good, I'm thankful that that didn't break, because we do have a draw controller here feeding into it. And then we just need to, let's see, omnium is here. Yep, so we just need to put some omnium fluid into there, and then that should be making motes of omnium. Perfect. There you go, and we've now got infinite motes of omnium being made. Much better than our old system, which took half an hour, probably more, in order to make a single stack. Perfect. Now let's go take a look. If we try to encode the recipe for the ultimate catalyst, the eternal catalyst, it's going to need a green extended crafting table. So let's pop in over here. I don't think we've still got space anywhere. Oh, yep. Just the one. But let's go here and green, perfect. Let's put that there. We're going to need that, perfect. And let's see, it was this one here, wasn't it? That was unused. Good. And at that point, we can tell the system to make eternal catalyst. And probably we're going to have a shortfall. Interesting. Now, these are needed. So the ultimate material needs guardian scales and wither bones and ender dragon scales and that sort of thing. But it looks like we've taught the system how to make ultimate material. It just can't make many. But I wonder, we can't even make one because we're short of ender stars, which is made in a chemical reactor with Dew of the Void. And we haven't made Dew of the Void since back when we first made that first teleporter that took us to the moon. So that said, Dew of the Void, we don't need to set up that one up again, because all we need to do is find a setup that's making Dew of the Void, and we can grab, in fact, we don't even need to find the setup, do we? We can just go here, and I believe we've already got a tank with Dew of the Void. Which is part of why I did save a few random tanks. Not because I was thinking I'll need it for creative, but I was thinking I could possibly need it later, and so it's super helpful having, there we go, a infinite tank of Dew of the Void. And so then we'll be able to just plug that along with and where's Gravity Star? Gravity Star? No. Ender Star. Along with some Nether Stars into a chemical reactor. And I do wonder how the cleanest way to do that is. We might set up another area here, which is going to take like fluid interface inputs. Or not necessarily fluid interface, but in this case, that's going to take item inputs. Because this one's going to be very easy to do. We just need to provide it the nether stars from here, and we can make it passively. but we need to have two inputs. We need the item input, and we need the fluid input, and we also need a power conduit, or not conduit, cable. So it's going to need three sides used, and our current setup doesn't allow for that. So I will have to come back to that. Probably, well, we can easily do it if we just had a single row. But the other question is, can we, if we just grab a bit of Zion. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that would allow us to have our energy running along the bottom. We can input an item from the back, and then we've still got the top face for either another item or a creative tank, and then we can still have the drawer sitting here on the front. So I think I'll probably do that between episodes, but for now we've very much hit the wrapping up point. We did make reasonable progress by getting our DML, our Pulsating Polymer Clay, heavily upgraded, and so that's going to allow us to get DML running on this side, separated from the other system, and we can look at getting some simple automation for things that only need two inputs set up over here. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one.